I wanted to get my hands on the technology. I wanted to drive it. The shows that were available to me in the marketplace were, first of all, if they were free, there were a bunch of sales pitches, or it just didn't really work well. Didn't have, I had to go talk to the sales guys. I had PowerPoint slides, and I'm like, I just want to see the product work. I don't believe it works the way you say it works. I'd like to break it. So what we did is put together an event where you have this opportunity to do that. And the heart of this event, if you're going to spend any time today and tomorrow, you want to spend it in what we call the Geek Lab, which is underneath us. And in the Geek Lab, we require all of our partners that we invited to have fully functional demonstrations on the floor. In fact, you see this picture of the guy in the white lab coat? We do that on purpose. That's the guy that comes from the BU. He may have been the developer of the product or the platform. He can tell you anything and everything you want to know about that product or solution. He actually will let you come up and test drive it if you want to. I encourage you to. That's what this is all about. And if you want to know how much it costs, you go up to the guy in the suit next to him and he'll tell you. But for the most part, this is about us and driving the technology. The other thing you'll see is you got these guys walking around today in these suits. Ties is not really part of our corporate culture at WWT, but these ties are kind of special. They're actually binary code that say ties suck over and over and over. So if you get a chance, go take a look at one. But so anyway, I'll move on from that. So I'll tell you a little bit about WWT here. We're a $5 billion organization. We've been in business for 20 years. I'm very proud to say 2 years ago, we entered in Fortune magazine's best places to work at number 50. I don't know if you guys appreciate what that means, but that's tough to do. But even better, we just got announced this last year, we're now number 24. And I referred to this earlier, but I believe the reason why that's the case is our culture and our core values. We spend a lot of investment money and time trying to make sure that these are maintained, because with that rapid accelerated growth becomes that risk. And I invite you to engage with WWT and find out for yourself firsthand about integrity and honesty. I think it's something you don't hear a lot about in our industry, and I believe it's a big differentiator for us and a value to you. So, there we go. What is Geek Day, right? So I talked about the lab, fully functional. I believe that's really different and unique, and I think you're going to find about yourself. We have, and I'll show you the numbers here in a minute, we have breakouts that happen at the same time that the lab is open. We provide these, after me, we have a SDN roundtable discussion panel, and then tomorrow we have another one. When those are going on, that's the only thing that's happening. But then once we start at 10, all the labs are running at the same time as the breakouts. But the thing that I think we find out the biggest value I hear from people who attend Geek Day is the opportunity to network, not only with our partners and with WWT, but amongst each other. And you get to share war stories and challenges you're dealing with because you guys are all similar in make. But also, you've got the ability to see all sorts of different leaders from the industry, and I'll show you here in a minute. So we get this question, how do we figure out who gets invited? Well, we spend a lot of time validating who we feel is best of breed in the industry. We feel like there's a lot of people here you'll recognize, and some you may not. And we feel that we're a little bit ahead of this game sometimes, and because we'll find some real big innovators, and we like to invite them in. But Geek Day just started purely as a virtualization event back in 2004, expanded rapidly into broader data center, and now comprises all of those areas you see there. One of the things that I think is really special, and this is really kind of fun, and this is geeky content here, is every year since 2004, we've done this event. One of our invited exhibitors, sponsor partners, has been acquired by another one that was also at the show. At least one. We've had years, we've had multiples. And so just a couple of examples you see here, like this, that's been going on. So if you see exhibitors in the lab that you're not familiar with, new names to you. Maybe they're maybe smaller. They're still relevant. They're relevant. Trust me, we invited them because they are. And you need to spend some time with them because you never know. They may be very, very special and part of a large go-to-market strategy of maybe one of the more strategic partners. This example I've got up behind me now is last year we had Clopia, who was separate from Cisco, and as you guys now know, that's a big part of their cloud strategy. So that's just one example. But so there's many more. As you look at the Geek Lab, and I'll bring it up here in a minute, we should think about who's going to get acquired this year. And if you want to tweet that, you can tweet it at Geek Day, and we'll see it across the DMS what you think. But I think it's pretty fun. So Geek Day by the numbers. Guys, there's a lot going on here. 59 partners participating. We got 71 functioning hands-on labs. 71. With 21 breakouts, it's 21 hours of content beyond what we're doing here in these roundtables. Yesterday, we had 4 hands-on classes, Nexus class, UC on UC. And the feedback from that was outstanding. We had over 900 registrations. Registration is still open. We're doing it on site. So what and most importantly, my favorite number is we're still doing this at no charge. I wouldn't confuse no charge of no value. But definitely, I'm very proud that we can still bring this to the marketplace without charging you guys. You know, and I think when I'm going to walk you through here in a minute is what kind of technologies are in the lab, and depending upon your role, to try to help maximize your time. But if you may realize already, there are things here that you could benefit from, and with people that are running different projects that aren't with you here today. I mean, we're here for we got all day today and all day tomorrow. So feel free to text the guy and say, why are you wasting your time back at the office trying to do all this research and stand it up in the lab? It's all functioning here. Get here right now. So we're still taking registrations for you at the door. And when I was talking about before, I was proud to say that we're still free. That is something that you can do if you want. You can pay $1,500 or $2,000 and go to a Gartner conference or an OEM conference, but you're still only going to get their perspective of what they want you to see. Here, we're bringing to you best-of-breed, architecturally independent, multi-vendor solutions. And so, and then when you pay for those, you're kind of competing with 17,000. I mean, how many guys have gone to, you pay all that money, you put all that T&E, you go to the show, and then you're like, oh, I couldn't get it to the breakout that I wanted to go to. It was just too full. I'm telling you, we've got it, capacity ready for you guys. You can get the hands on the lab. I'm not competing with all those other people. So this is the reason why people travel from all over the world, frankly, to come to this show. We look forward to bringing it back to this market in the future. Look at this number I got here, 11 minutes per lab. You're thinking, well, what does that mean? If you spent nothing, you never went to one breakout, which I'm not encouraging you to do, by the way, but if you did nothing, but spent the next 13 hours of your life in the lab and tried to attend every one of the 71 labs, you can only spend 11 minutes per lab. This to tell you how much is functioning here, and yet you'd still miss 21 hours of content. I think it's important when you're in the lab, too. One of the reasons what makes this event so unique and different is we respect your privacy. So just by coming here, your information is not going to be disseminated to all 59 partners, okay? So, I mean, we obviously have your contact information. That's how we got in touch, right? It is up to you and your discretion of where you want to be followed up on. How you do that is when you're in the lab or you're in a breakout, you tell them you want to follow up. They will barcode scan your badge. That tells us we need to get back in touch with you with that product or technology. Otherwise, what would happen on Monday? 58, 59 spam emails. You're like, oh, man, I don't want anything to do with this. And I'm telling you, me neither. So we've taken care of that for you. Look who's here. This is just a sampling, and I apologize to the industry leaders that are in the room that I didn't grab. This was just some that I pulled that I feel are the best and brightest, who are literally setting the industry direction. And they are fellow geeks. They want you to approach them and talk to your challenges. You know, say, hey, Carl, I want to have a software-defined data center. I want a next-gen, how am I really going to, I'm challenged with this right now. You know, what are you doing to help me do it with VMware? Let's go down and drive it right now. So these guys are here, and guess what? You get to network amongst your peers in the industries, and I consider you guys as some of the industry brightest as well, and that's why I tell you to network amongst each other. Accordingly, here's who's here. I mean, I just took a sampling of some of the guys that are here. There's obviously many more than this. I didn't want to list everyone, but like I said before, learn from one another, and we learn from you when we work with you all the time. So when we go to market with solutions here at WWT, we do it through network, security, collaboration, and data centers, kind of how we take everything, how we group up our partners. And I'll explain more about this. And we wrap all that around with our secure supply chain capabilities and integration technology center, and then most importantly is our advanced technology center that is, I'm going to explain here in a minute. But what I wanted to do is just help you understand, of all those partners we got invited, that came out of one of these buckets. Does that make sense? And try to help you understand, who's here so you can spend some time. So this is the entire lab. This is a map, right, of what's downstairs. You'll notice that the math didn't work out, right? I got 59 partners, 71 labs. Some of our partners have multiple labs. Each lab has a distinct product or solution that they're trying to demonstrate to you. And the reason why they're individual labs is I might be interested in the end user compute strategy from VMware, but I don't need any more information around the cloud. You get your barcode scan at the end user compute, we'll understand what you're interested in. It gives us much more distinct capabilities to help in following up from the show. Also, if you're out there, do me a favor and thank these guys, because it's them that has helped make this possible, this event to continue at no charge. But if you're going to go down there and you do network, wireless, and mobility, I'm just trying to highlight where you might want to spend some of your time, and where you may want to go to breakouts. If you're in the security side, here's some of the guys you want to go see. And if you notice, I'm trying to highlight which one of those is the security lab that's inside of that. Full descriptions of what these labs are in your books and on the back of your badges. They're in the mobile application. So, I'm not going to bore you to tears and read you what's going on. I'm just trying to help you understand where you spend your time with the collaboration demos that are out there. You get the touchscreen digital media signage out there. And if you guys have seen that, that's really cool. Cisco solution. And here's what we have in data center. Lots going on there. And virtualization, cloud, VDI. And you'll learn later today, we've got breakouts of worldwide specific content on Thursday. They were covering next generation data center, virtual desktop infrastructure, and also security. So you definitely figure out which one of those three you want to go to, because just like this, probably one of those applies to you, but not all three. And finally, here's our partners in FIT, what we call facilities and infrastructure. So we're covering the gamut, right? So you got from the hardware, software stack, cloud, collaboration, security, wireless mobility, lots going on. And if there's people that need to go wider in your company to see all this, hey, text them right now, get them out here. We're fine with that. More the merrier. So before I turn this over to the cool, geeky content of software-defined networking, I don't know about you guys, I'm going to take notes, so I'm excited. I think this is going to be really cool. But before I go there, I wanted to share a little bit more about WWT. And what really makes us, I've tried to sum it up, like what makes us different. I've already told you about our core culture. It's a little bit different. I think what else is different about us is our level of investment that we make that's available for you to leverage in advance of doing any business whatsoever with us. So we have over 600 consultants, engineers, architects in the field, CCIE level people. One of the things I didn't mention earlier, we're Cisco's largest partner in North America, sometimes in the globe. And the reason why we're that way is because I believe we bring a lot of value on the front end of the sales cycle. And we do that because we spend a lot of time helping you validate and test before you make any purchasing decisions. So I encourage you, engage us, use us, and we're out there, and there's over 100 of us here, and get to know who those guys are. Also, the other area where we spend a lot of time and investment, and I have a little trouble on that one, is what we call our Advanced Technology Center. A little internal joke with us is it's so important we wrote a pledge to it. But anyway, this is something that we do that I can't stress enough that is different. Downstairs, we did our best to bring together what we feel is the best and brightest OEMs that manufacture products. Okay? They're all running in their own individual capacity, right? What the ATC is, if I could just sum it up for you in a very quick way, is that's not how you use them, right? You use them in a multi-OEM integrated solution to accomplish your business goals. That is what we build inside the Advanced Technology Center. It is an output of a large amount of IP from that 600 engineers, our professional services, our IT, and our national team. We collaborate and we build these best-of-breed reference architectures. And we can't wait to show you what the reality of that is. And so what happens inside of this is we can show you all the interoperabilities and the real problems, the day-to-day things in advance before you make any purchasing decisions. And ultimately, we can help you become more educated and learn faster and do it cheaper because you don't have to have test and development infrastructure on your site. You could do side-by-side product comparisons if you like. We have things like VBlock sitting next to HP Matrix, right next to FlexPod, and how do we orchestrate and automate across those? We want you to engage us. We will build proof of concepts and pilots specific to your needs through the ATC. It's essentially a cloud. You will not find another partner that can provide you with that capability as a tool for you to accelerate your time to market. And I really, really invite you to engage us, challenge us. Go to your WWT contact and ask them if they can help you build something that you're trying to get done. If you don't know who your WWT contact is, go to the information desk and we'll put you in touch with them today. So there's some exciting times. We're headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri. We just finished building out a brand new facility. It's an office that you see a picture of there. We're rebuilding an entire building. So imagine this concept of the Advanced Technology Center was about 15 to 20 racks to the gear today, representing around $25 million of assets, right? That's expanding to an entire building of 70 racks. This is a cloud infrastructure that is yours to do what you want with, to validate and test and build. So the best way to find out about the value of WWT in our ATC, as well as tour our 1 million square foot secure supply chain facility. Learn about our Integration Technology Center where we can rack stage gear for you in advance, leveraging our $800 million line of credit. And we can actually build stacks of gear for you to your specific needs and ship them to you ready to power up and go. And it's almost too hard to try to represent that through content. And that's why customers are coming to see us and doing EBCs. So come visit us, honestly. I know it sounds like a St. Louis Midwest thing. I apologize, but we want to host you there. Come on. It's like my mom. We cook good food. Come on. So we want you to come see us because here's what we're finding out. And I'm telling you, the sub-Fortune 50 have come seen us. And here's what they're telling us. Wow, what an incredible use of time. You know, for me to find out what I was going to find out from any one of those OEMs, I would have had to schedule, plan, and travel and do an EBC at one OEM. Your facility, I get to see them all. As you can see downstairs, we have great, tight partnerships. And we could bring them in and give you the roadmaps if that's what you're interested in. Frankly, that's not what we're finding you're interested in. You're interested in how you solve your business needs by integrating multiple OEMs. And you can't do that in an OEM's EBC. So we're kind of like the EBCs of EBCs. And we got customers who've come out with literally teams of 20 people and spent days with us building out and testing inside the ATC or just learning about our partners' roadmaps and those kinds of things. So if there's one call to action I want you to understand today, it is that. And if you're interested in coming to schedule an EBC, contact your WWT rep, or once again, go to the information desk. We'll get that together for you. So that is it. We're time to get to the good geeky stuff. I'm as excited as you are. I'm going to get the show rolling here to the software-defined networking. Please let me bring on the stage and who's going to help us shape up what software-defined networking is broadly before we get into the positions. Dave Chandler, our route switch practice lead.